The OnePlus 2 is an incremental update like so many other phones today and doesn't really qualify as an update to the amazing phone that the OnePlus One was. The build and design of the OnePlus 2 is the embodiment of the fact that it's an incremental update. The sandstone back looks the same as in the One, but feels to be of somewhat lower quality. By lower quality, what I essentially mean is that the finish feels rougher on the OnePlus 2. It feels good though, and I dare say different. Carrying the OnePlus 2 around, I always felt the bulk and heft of the device, and what's surprising is that I liked it. To all this, OnePlus has added a metal frame. There are two reasons for this. The first, to cover the metal build required of premium phones today, and second, to make the back removable, which it needs in order to make the style swap covers usable. It doesn't really add anything to the overall look and feel of the phone. In fact, I find it to be a mismatch with the company's new wood finish style swap covers. Display and UI. Perhaps the one aspect of the OnePlus 2 that I disliked is its display. The 5.5-inch FHD display is sharp enough, but it's dim. What I dislike more is how easy it is to figure out that OnePlus has cut costs here. Turn on video on the camera and move the phone around and you realize the low refresh rate of this display. The flaws in the display are further substantiated by the UI. Oxygen OS seems too much like a work in progress. The bugs would be irksome for a lot of basic users and even power users, but there is a kind of statement here. Oxygen OS in many ways is just what I want a custom UI to be. It's not a sea change from stock Android, and additions like the shelf screen are a sign that OnePlus is developing something over the long term. It's almost an Apple-like approach, just not as polished. Oxygen OS is same as Android, yet different, meaning the shelf screen can be accommodated in the OnePlus One later, while next generations of OnePlus devices will bring new features that get added to the OnePlus 2 and so on. OnePlus is pushing updates to the pre-sales device that me and some of my compatriots have. The shelf screen, which shows my most used apps and favorite contacts, was one of the two features I really used. The other one being the hardware button to switch from all notifications to priority and no interruptions modes. I would have liked if OnePlus could make this button programmable for other activities as well, but this works for now. If you happen to be coming from an iPhone background, you would appreciate this button even more. Fingerprint sensor. As I mentioned earlier, the fingerprint sensor would not recognize the print whenever the phone was kept on the desk. While the OnePlus 2's fingerprint sensor is useful and can be worked with, Apple's Touch ID is just a tad better still, I think. Performance. The question you should be asking here isn't whether the OnePlus 2 heats up, but whether it heats up enough to be an issue. As I mentioned before, I was put off by the Snapdragon 810 earlier, but OnePlus has downlocked the SoC, going for almost 30% lesser performance. Surprisingly though, the OnePlus 2 came out with flying colors no matter how hard I tried to get it to heat up. I'm in no way saying that the phone doesn't heat up, it does, but it isn't the abnormal heating that we've known the Snapdragon 810 for. I play games like Injustice: God Amongst Us and Marvel Contest of Champions on this phone continuously for 2 hours without ever feeling any abnormal heat. Camera. If it was about simply covering the flagship features, the OnePlus 2 does well with laser-assisted autofocus camera. The 13-megapixel camera on the back is also much improved as compared to the OnePlus One. It is worth mentioning though that the OnePlus 2 doesn't focus as fast as the LG G4 though. Overall, it's a very likable camera on the OnePlus 2. The device takes pretty nice images and the low light performance is also quite good. Bottom line, if last year's OnePlus One was a flagship killer, this is a very balanced smartphone that offers good value for your money. If you're looking for a phone in the 20 to 30K price point, then I would definitely recommend a OnePlus 2. But if you're looking to upgrade from the OnePlus One, then you shouldn't go for this phone. The OnePlus 2 does everything that you need your smartphone to do and handles every task you can throw at it. It may not be the out-and-out flagship killer that you expected, but it's got the killer pricing to performance ratio still.